Hi, welcome to another Grit and Grime basketball podcast. I'm your host,
Wow.
as always, David Sagoe, here with Thomas Arnal.
Hey.
Really? How can I get that one wrong?
Sorry. You should be like doing
You
like
messed
that.
me up.
Yeah, I think you're. Yeah,
But anyway, I'm looking.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
You're there.
okay.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
There we go.
Everyone's taking those nowadays. And Jose Garcia Vidal, who I guess is going to be on the side of me now.
Merry Christmas. Hello.
All right. So we've got our first post-Christmas episode of the year, our only post-Christmas episode of the year.
Every other episode besides
This one.
Post-Christmas. Yeah.
everything's post-Christmas, right?
Crazy. It's
Well, no, it'll be a new year. So,
How about pre-All-Star?
But that's still post-Christmas.
But isn't it pre-Christmas for the next Christmas?
Yes.
That's a good point.
See?
When do you say
See?
pre-Christmas and post-Christmas? That's tricky.
You only get one a year post-Christmas.
You do.
But here we are. We survived, guys.
Yeah.
We're down one, but it's for good reasons. Mike's with the family. Shouts to Mike. And so we're going to cover the Christmas games. We're going to talk a little bit about the Hall of Fame. We love to talk Hall of Fame here. And then we'll see what else bubbles up. I got some ideas to spring on you guys. We'll see how that goes though. So first things first, Christmas Day happened. What was your game of the night, guys? What was the game of the night? Had a few close ones.
Yeah. I actually liked Boston and Milwaukee. That was fun. The way it closed out, like Giannis performing in the second half.
Yeah.
The block at the end. Tatum with some good moments. I think both teams have had their kind of like bestish players playing, so that's good. So yeah, that was unexpectedly interesting.
Yeah, for sure. It's one that I kept as a Laker fan. I kept tuning out because the Celtics were up big, and I was like, "Come on, man! I'm not watching the Celtics blow out someone on Christmas. This isn't what I asked for, Santa." So I tuned out, and then the Bucks came back, and I was like, "Oh yeah, I'm straight in now." And then they started to blow the lead open again. I was like, "I'm not watching this mess." And I came back, and it was tight at the end. And yeah, that block was just so Giannis, right?
That's what he does.
The stand-up block is becoming his trademark. I know he can do a chase down as well, but LeBron's kind of cornered the market on those, even though it should be Tayshaun Prince. But yeah, just those standing blocks on dudes going to the rim, just the strength, the length. So impressive, man.
Yeah, I thought my game would have been the Warriors game, but then it's I stopped watching it halfway through, but for another reason, nothing to do with basketball. It's more rhythm related.
Yeah, it was getting late by then.
It wasn't getting late. It was just I don't know. I had a NBA rhythm burnout, if that makes sense. Where I'm so used to watching international basketball where you have less timeouts, less breaks, that after 2.5 games, I was like, even my wife she doesn't do basketball, like she doesn't watch it at all. She was like, another timeout, another break. And I was watching it on French TV, so I could just enjoy some French commentaries on Christmas. And you could tell they were just struggling to fill in their times with just like, another timeout, let's go. Let's talk about it. No, let's have a top 10. It's like, okay. But apart from that, I enjoy obviously the Knicks games, which we finally beat Trae Young. And Kemba out of nowhere got a triple double. Granted, he shot poorly, but
out of nowhere, his teammates giving him all the rebounds. Like,
oh my god, when I see that, I literally get so pissed off when I see this. Like,
horrible.
I'm like, fuck, if you want to get a rebound, you go and fight for it.
Get a proper rebound, right?
To me, I'm like,
elbow your teammates for it. Elbow them. Russell Westbrook.
Oh yeah, so there was a couple of occasions where you actually like almost fought the teammate for him, and then there's a couple of occasions where like they're just waiting for him to go and get it. To a point where the ball got out of bounds. Well,
almost
out of bounds.
yeah.
That was ridiculous. That's ridiculous.
And it's not like you won the game convincingly, so you can just try, start doing that BS. It's
Start chasing stats, yeah.
Like, come on, there's so many things that needs to be sorted out before you start pulling the old, Westbrook triple double. If you're up by 20, 25, yeah, sure, go and do that. But like, it wasn't that. Yeah, I almost got the final score right, though. Like,
yeah. You were what? You thought the Knicks would score more, right? You said 110?
I think it was 110-88.
88.
Yeah, that was
almost bang on with the Hawks.
Yeah.
The trayless Hawks, of course, have to let it be known. And that took you guys. I don't know if this is up to date or not. I think it is. That took you guys to within one game of them.
Yes. Yeah, we were two games down. So
yeah.
It's so very tight in the East that it's
ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
Where are we now? We 11th. Yeah, we're a game behind, half a game behind the Raptors, and half a game behind the Celtics, and a game and a half behind the Hornets. 2 games behind the Hornets.
2 games, but behind the Hornets, the Wizards, and the Sixers.
Yeah.
It's just very, very tight.
Yeah.
Anyway, all they need to do is go on a run, couple wins, and then it's
easy, isn't it?
It's crazy.
Just play Kemba. It's wild to think.
No, with those
play
Kemba. No, with those it's not easy. It's a head scratch. Like, I watch those games, I'm like, what's actually
changed?
What's changed? It's easy to point out because they got a bunch of people that used to play defense, and now it seems like the 2 guys that are there to do the scoring aren't gelling on offense at all. I think that's where it is. And on defense, Fournier is not a defensive player at all. Like, he'll put the effort in, but that's not his thing. Randall's the same. So you got 2 players that are very similar in many ways. They're not obviously physically similar. They don't play the same role, but like the way of approaching the game is fairly similar to me.
Yeah.
That's might be too much for a coach like Tibbs. So yeah. Anyway, it's all super close. It's all very, very close. So all we need to do is trade a couple players and get Ben Simmons in.
Easy. Easy.
We game. We ball. Yeah.
Just give them. You already gave away Frank. Who can you trade? Knox. Give them Knox.
Knox for Simmons.
Knox for Simmons. Straight up.
Straight up. Of course. That's how it works.
Yeah. So obviously the elephant in the room is all the players that were out over Christmas, as we talked about in the preview. But that has given like a few players a chance to shine. I know he wasn't particularly good in this game, but Cam Reddish that started balling out in the absence of Trey. We saw the return of Lance Stevenson, baby.
Air guitar. Air guitar Lance.
We didn't get one, unfortunately. He didn't hit any threes, but it's coming. It's coming. I'm sure it's coming.
Now, my question is, are these guys after, let's say, the Omicron variant, it's, fades away into the sky and it's all fun and great in a month time. Are these guys going to stay or like, no, they're not, right? Like,
no,
because it's proven that you know that they can perform. We know this. That's what they used to play in the NBA, but there's a reason why they weren't in the NBA, right? And this year, teams are rebuilding themselves. It's not on the plans. Like, they're just here helping out.
Yeah, you can, if you want to keep one of them, you'd have to cut someone else, right? The flexibility has come in terms of the roster that you keep, and that agreement that we spoke about last pod, where if you lose 2 players, you can bring in 1. In terms of just balancing out the numbers, if you want to keep one of them long term, you would just have to cut one of your actual roster players to make space. And trade season's opening very, very shortly.
It is.
Yeah, it's such a weird one though, because it's this weird compromise between not stopping the league and trying to find a solution that works out for everyone. But it's like you're bringing all those players, which by nature just transforms your roster and gives you this alternate reality of what your team is, and then within that time period may lose a bunch of games, and that totally doesn't represent how you thought about your roster pre-season. So the end results of the regular seasons are going to be interesting because you're going to have some team that maybe may get be in a better position in the standings. That actually the original roster is not as great as you think, but then better teams might be coming from behind and actually be better than you expect. So we might have some weird results in the playoffs where a number 7 beats a number 2.
Yeah,
they're not really there, right?
Yeah,
it'll be interesting to see. Well, it'll be interesting to see where we are in the 2 months time anyway.
Yeah,
when playoff times comes around, it's going to be.
But I mean,
thing to witness.
I think to an extent, people thought that might happen last season, where there was so many star players out. Embiid missed tons of time, LeBron missed tons of time, AD missed tons of time. KD only played 30 games, Harden played like 50. And I think what actually happened was we learned that those teams that were able to keep their players on the court were better for it in the playoffs because the Suns were able to perform. The Bucks were able to perform. Like the Hawks, once they got over their early injury issues, they were able to perform in the playoffs. So I think where we might expect maybe a Lakers to beat a higher seed, if they don't, it will be indicative of the season that they've had because they haven't gotten it together, if you know what I mean. Like almost like getting into one of those top seeds, like a Utah, like a Phoenix Suns, shows that they were able to keep things together despite everything that was going on. And I think the same ingenuity, the same togetherness, the same closeness, the same stuff that they developed during the season might actually benefit them in the playoffs. Like I wouldn't be, well, I might be surprised. It depends on who they match up with. But like if the Cavaliers, for example, end up with the 4 seed and they end up actually beating the 5 seed, would we be that surprised kind of thing? Because they've been able to win games even with players being out.
Yeah, it does make sense that way. Yeah.
It's possible.
Yeah, it's possible.
But yeah, it's going to be strange either way, I think. Yeah, so we had those. There was a close one. Warriors, Suns.
It's a good game. Otto Porter Jr., man.
Yeah. Otto Porter
Will
Jr.
Chamberlain's son.
Oh, he's his son, 100%.
He looks
100%.
exactly like him, dude.
Please do a test. Please.
Someone has to answer for this. Imagine being his dad. Oh my God. Yeah, he came through in the clutch. Steph had a good game on Christmas, guys.
He did.
Once, yeah.
He broke the hoodoo.
He did.
Yeah.
So
it was just you. A great player has to perform at some point on Christmas Day, right?
Yeah.
You can't go your entire career without doing that.
When I see the Suns play, I just wish that they would use Ayton a lot more than they are.
Yes.
He could dominate that paint, and I've been actually watching a lot of David Robinson videos lately. He looks so much like him in the way that he plays. It's just ridiculous.
Physically, they build it.
Physically, absolutely, because I think David Robinson might have been a little bit stronger, a little bit more athletic from the get-go. I'm not saying on his prime because Ayton is not in his prime by any means. But naturally, David Robinson was, and also he had 4 years in the Navy, right? He was older when he got to the NBA. But the potential that Ayton has, if he's used properly, the Suns will have a third massive weapon there that is not being used right now.
Yeah, I mean, they have it in the tuck, and we saw when they went to him a little bit more in the playoffs and took advantage of the way that teams were overplaying Chris Paul and Devin Booker. I think they know they have that in the tuck. They have that.
Yeah, maybe it is by design.
Yeah.
You know.
And then also, I'm always wary of trying to rely on big men when you're going at Draymond Green. I think that's a mind fuck. Like sometimes you look at him and think he's 6'7", and it's like it doesn't matter. He's that good of a defender that you just can't go at him, no matter who you've got down there. But yeah, I mean, they have that in the tuck. They're such a good team, such a well-oiled machine. He's just gotten COVID though.
Yeah.
So he's in the protocols, and he's like one of the first players they've had with it. Devin Booker was out for an injury. I don't recall them having anyone out with COVID, so they were due.
They would choose someone.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. Not with everything that's gone on, like over 117 cases in the month of December, for them to have no one is like the most anomaly of anomalies. Yes. Oh, and then so we can revisit the question. We all picked the Suns except for Jose, who picked the Warriors. Congrats. Do we have to take the Warriors as serious title contenders, as in like serious title contenders? As in, would you put your money on them?
Yeah.
Would you say they're the favorite?
Well, that's a different story. Contenders, favorites, I think there's like 5-6 contenders in the entire NBA.
Who?
I think that's Warriors, a big number.
Suns, Warriors, Bucks,
Nets.
I think that's it.
Jazz?
Don't say the Nets are not a contender.
Jazz. Yes,
and the Jazz are a contender too. And
the Nets can contend. They can contend.
You see, five teams at least.
And
the Spurs, but I'm not gonna tell them right
the Knicks,
now.
I mean 7. Okay, fine.
I think
don't expect me to throw my Lakers in there. Fuck.
No, I wouldn't. It's fair that you don't.
To this day, there's more chances of the Knicks winning the NBA.
There definitely isn't. But
the Spurs are 1.5 games behind the Lakers right now.
Oh, dude, the Spurs are on fire. Man. Like every time I wake up and I check the scores, it's like 145. I'm like, what the hell?
We blew the Lakers out in the last night at Staples Center.
Yeah. You mean house that Kobe built goes out with.
Well, that was the last time it was Staples Center.
Oh yeah, the disrespect. Yeah.
And apparently, I read that when the Lakers closed the forum, the Spurs blew them out as well. So.
Oh really? I didn't know that. That's funny.
And then they won the title. Oh my god.
So hey, there you go. Nice present.
Yeah. We're about to win 3.
So I think it's five contenders, man. Easy. Nobody else actually has a chance of winning the title.
Favorites?
Oof. I think you have to talk about the Suns though as favorites.
Yeah.
Really? Okay.
They made it all the way last year. They lost the finals, obviously. So that says something, and they didn't change the roster much. So
do you think they? What if they face the Bucks again? If we had a repeat, do you think they would overcome them this time? Because I feel like the Bucks would be a lot more confident.
Probably. I haven't seen the Bucks play with a full roster yet this season, I think.
Oh, they're good. They're good. They went on a run of. They were undefeated once they got the 3 big players back. Someone knocked them off eventually, but yeah, they're back.
They're back, but they also, I think they play with, like a champion does, for somebody that just got a title and then suddenly they found this new confidence, new understanding of who they are. Not even a champion's luck. Yeah, actually, you know what? That could also, that's part of it sometimes. But there's that thing that suddenly unlocks in the players' brains where they understand what they're supposed to do and how to win. Yeah. And I think that's what the Bucks are. They could literally, let's say everyone's fully healthy and then they come back and they go into the playoffs and they just literally destroy everyone because they can. I'm not saying they will, but there's a possibility that happens because then in a weird way they reminds me of the French team in football. It's like they won the World Cup, then after that they went, yo, we can play, let's go. Bring it. And that's kind of what they remind me of. It's like they've got this guy, they've got Giannis, this suddenly now it's like he's so good. He's even better than what we've seen him. No, he's better than what we've seen him so far. It's like he's just the best version of himself. And he's not even talked about in the MVP race by many.
Yeah, he will be now. It's just because he didn't have his goons with him. But he's been excellent. He's been excellent. That's so true. We see it often, right? That's why a lot of teams do win back-to-back titles, just because you get the first one, then you're like, oh, so this is what you actually have to do to be atop the mountain. And then once you have that knowledge, it just carries over into the next season. You just know.
Yeah.
You know what it takes, and you just execute.
What I can see, what I will put my money on is literally a Western Conference Finals between the Suns and the Warriors. Yes, but then depends. I don't know who I would put on top for that one. I wouldn't be surprised if we get a repeat of last season. Like a Suns Bucks.
Absolutely,
not
completely possible.
But yeah, Warriors could be in there. Yeah, so I don't know. For me, right now, it's 50-50 between the two of them. Because it's like Warriors will depend. I don't know. Warriors are really, really good as well. They're just really good. I think they're just picking their games right now. They're just like.
As much as I didn't and don't still necessarily believe in them as like favorites, but there's something about that Curry head-to-head with Chris Paul that I just don't see Curry letting Paul win. Similar to his never losing against Dame Lillard thing. Like, he just gets up for certain matchups, and I think he'll always find a way to overcome Chris Paul. Chris Paul was the last when the Warriors were actually good. Oh, actually, I think it still holds true, right? Yeah, because they haven't been in the playoffs. Yeah, so Chris Paul's Clippers were the last team to beat the Golden State Warriors in the Western Conference.
All right.
Okay.
2014.
Okay. It's a long time ago.
They've either missed the playoffs or made the finals.
Wow.
That's
wow.
mad.
Yeah. So I think there's something there. And also, the State Farm commercials.
Oh, sure, absolutely.
Chris Paul was going down the elevator. Steph Curry was coming up, man. Can't let that happen, Chris.
That's exactly how it works.
Or Cliff.
Or Cliff. That's it. No, I cannot. Yeah, those two teams are just too good, and that's what they are. The actual teams. Like,
you don't think the Jazz can compete with them?
Yeah, they could. They could, but if it's the Jazz, it feels like if, as much as I like them, it's heading towards the direction of the Blazers. Do you know what I mean? Like, if they don't do it this year, no, I'm not saying blow it up. I'm saying, like, we always see them as like they finish first, they finish second, and then they get to the finals. They get to the final, they get to the semi-final, and it just fizzles out. It's, just there. It's just done. I'm not saying they should blow it up. I'm saying it's like there's that flavor to it, which is like same players, same guys. It's running back again. And they're good. They're also good. They play a great team basketball. So I enjoy watching them. I don't know if they can take it to that next step, the next level.
Yeah, they are probably getting a bit older. So, yeah, you might be right.
Cool impromptu conversation.
We're missing one last game.
2 last games, actually. The Lakers and Nets clashed. That was a close game. Lakers came back from 17 points down in the fourth quarter, and then Russell Westbrook hung himself on the rim. And that was that. And
LeBron got dunked on as well.
He did. Claxton gave him the
Patty Mills went off.
Patty Mills is being guarded by Westbrook.
There you
go. Yeah.
Westbrook had a triple-double, guys. Triple-doubles.
Good job.
We love those. 10's a round number. Don't know if you know that. Yeah. LeBron had another 30-plus point game in a loss. So, moving on.
Now, I actually wanted to ask you guys, because I don't know if you saw Stan Van Gundy's quote saying that having a triple-double, the gist of it is having a triple-double doesn't mean you had a great game.
Yeah.
I agree.
Right? Good. Thank you. Okay, next. Move
on. It's funny. Karl Anthony Towns, and this is what I was thinking I might spring on you guys. Did you guys see this? Yeah?
Yeah.
So good. That means that I can misquote him. Karl Anthony Towns was on his Twitch feed with some dude. I think his name might be Andy Ross, but don't quote me. And they were having a conversation about basketball, and they were talking about stats and stuff. And he was saying how hard it is to get a triple-double and stuff like that. And then the other guy was like, bing, light bulb off in his head. What do you think about Westbrook? And Towns said, oh, he definitely stuffs the stat sheet. He definitely chases stats. And then he said, but he's a really good player. And he plays so hard as well. And he had just said how hard it is to get a triple-double, and how he has only one in his whole career. And then someone told, I don't even know how this came up. Someone told Draymond Green about this exchange, and Draymond said something along the lines of, I remember being 20 points up on the T-Wolves, and there was 2 minutes to go and Karl Anthony Towns was still in the game. So if you want to talk about stat sheet stuffers, then whatever. Towns heard this and was like, I don't even understand how we got here. He must not have heard the whole quote. I'm only about love. And then he defended himself saying, I'm not the coach, right? Am I Bill Russell? Maybe I'm Bill Russell, as in saying, maybe I'm a player coach. And it was my idea to be in the game with being down 20 with 2 minutes to go. So he's saying that was the coach's call. The coach didn't pull the starters clearly. And that's on them. But he did double down on how he did say like he wasn't throwing any shade at Russ. He loves how hard he plays. And he reiterated how hard it is to get a triple-double. He said he has one in his whole career and he has the ball for it, right? In his entire basketball career, he has that ball. He got the game ball because it hasn't happened for him. So he was generally peaceful. He said he didn't want any beef with anyone.
Draymond likes a beef.
Oh, loves it. He walks around with his steak knife.
Oh yeah, that's where he's got a backpack.
That's funny.
Yeah. So what do we think?
What can you say about it? Like, yes, it's not easy to get a triple-double, but as Tom said and as Stan Van Gundy said, it doesn't mean anything much these days. Like, it's. Let me rephrase that. It doesn't mean you had a good game, right? Yeah, and a triple-double generally means or meant that you win the game as well, right?
No,
but again, it's like stats. It's what the eternal debate that we have about stats, right? It's about a stat can mean anything. On your importance or your impact on a game or your importance within a team, it's the same discussion I've had many times with like, oh well, a guy who scores 6 points might be more valuable than another guy who scored 35, right? Depends how you score those baskets. Depends, like they can be defensive plays that change the entire games. They can be a rebound, like an assist or a steal that's changed the entire dynamic of a game. So the defensive play, even just a basket, 2 free throws, so that changes completely the outcome of the game. So stats means a lot and also mean nothing, which was quite funny. That's what I'm having a lot of funny times now on Twitter with people. It's like you see people arguing, it's like, well, it's better to score 35 than average a triple-double. It's like, yeah, yes and no. I mean, it depends on what team, depends who you're playing with, depends what results you're getting from them. It depends on so many things. Yeah, it's well and good, but again, like we said, it's I think Westbrook's the easy target at the moment, so we do take the piss out of him right now, which is funny. But to do what he does, it's incredible. So I don't know. I think it's a light beef. It's barely a steak right now.
It's okay.
So it's okay. We've seen worse. We'll see better.
Yeah,
but
we will see a lot worse as well.
Yeah, I mean it's one of those arguments that's only popped up with the way that Westbrook pursued the triple-double.
Yeah.
Because before then it was just something that might happen. You might realize you're at 8-8 or 9-8 or something, and then make sure you get the last couple. But I think from the beginning of games he was pursuing triple doubles in a way that we hadn't seen anyone do before, and I think that kind of cheapened it, right? That kind of it took the gloss off it. I know it did for me anyway. But
that's exactly what we're saying with Walker. His triple double on Christmas Day. Is that, to me, that's what's pissing me off, because it didn't come naturally. He had 10 points. He had 10 assists, I think. And 12 assists, and then rebound number 9. Like he had 9, and suddenly he was like, "Okay, grab 10." And it was like, don't force it. Like it has to be natural. Like I don't. It changes a lot of things. It changes. I almost find it a bit. That's why I was like slightly disrespectful to the other team.
You shouldn't shoot it off your own backboard like Ricky Davis.
Who did that? Yeah, Ricky Davis. Yes.
That no, you wouldn't. That's not natural.
When Ricky Davis signed in France, the first thing they talked about was that. Literally, that's like, he played X years in the NBA, and I was like, triple double. By the way, this is how he got it. He got his own rebound.
It didn't count, by the way. They didn't. Give
it didn't count, right? They took it away after that.
But yeah, I think because of the criticism of the way that he played on Christmas Day, where actually the issue was nothing to do with his triple-double. It was more the fact that he missed a bunch of shots at the rim. I think he missed 11 shots at the rim.
Yeah.
And then he came out, obviously he was criticized. He didn't talk to the media. When he talked to the media at, I think, practice today, he said, "I've been fine. I think people want me to average 25, 15 and 15, and that's not normal. That's not human." And yeah, I think he's still missing the point. Like, remember we spoke about his statements before about winning a championship. I think maybe he knows and he's just creating a diversion. Yeah. But it's just about winning, right?
It's
like
about
we
winning.
win the game. None of this discussion happens.
It's what I think it's what we discussed a couple of weeks ago when I was like, one of the things as you progress, as you advance with age, like your body is not responding the same, like you change your game. I think it's the same with him. I don't think he's going to adapt himself for anyone or any team in the league. And that's kind of where he's at right now. Like if you see that's not working, and there's trade rumors around you, and there were trade rumors around you for a long time before that as well. It's like, maybe the problem is not people around you telling you you're doing stats or you're stat padding. Maybe it's you. Maybe you should evolve your game or try to understand how to make your game better. How can you suit the team? How can you be a better fit for the team?
And that's key. What you just said is what you're doing helping the team. It's what I'm doing helping the team. He shouldn't have to, in my opinion, go out and answer this like people want me to score blah 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 or average this blah blah blah. Just shut up. Go on, ask your coach, what do you need me to do, right? Because maybe that's what they're asking him to do at his team, right? Like who knows? Right, so it's a very big picture. It's like he's playing this way because he's probably been asked to do this, right? Like yes, it is his style of play, but there's something wrong at the team as well.
But isn't there a lot of talk saying that the it's not a good time right now in the locker rooms for the Lakers? I think I don't even know.
No, I haven't heard that. I haven't heard of any dissent in in the locker room at all, really. There's, I don't know. Yeah, I haven't heard any of that. I mean, but the locker room isn't the locker room right now because of all of the players that are out, players that are injured. Like, it's just been tumultuous. The issue that Westbrook has is because he didn't play well at the start of the season. When the microscope comes back on him on Christmas Day, and everyone's watching, for him to have a bad game then, having already heard about what happened before, it's completely made everyone ignore that he actually had a stretch of 10 to 15 good games, right? In between. He was actually playing well. He had some bad plays, but he was playing well.
Yeah.
And so when he says he's fine, to an extent, he is, right? It's just that he happened to have a bad game when the light was the brightest on him. And that's it. Like, that's what a lot of, like, that might be the only game Lakers fans have seen this season, some of them, right? That might be the only game rival fans have seen of him this season.
Absolutely. Yeah. That's how it works.
And that's it. So now you become the headline, and then you make a statement like that and you become more of a headline.
Yeah.
Stan didn't help him either. But yeah, I mean, that's it. You come to LA, there's championship expectations and the spotlight. Got to deal with it. Got to deal with it. And then the Jazz beat the Mavs 120 to 116. Porzingis is really good without Doncic. It always surprises me how well he plays when Doncic isn't out there. He's just weirdly good at getting shots, hitting shots. It's just weird to me. It's always weird to me that he plays so well without another star or another like prime ball handler next to him.
It's funny. He's fully back now. Like, if you look at his stats, if you look at the way he plays, he's fully recovered from his injuries. I think there's still this thing around him, this persona, or this weird cloud surrounding Porzingis, which is like he doesn't like anyone. It feels like nobody likes him. Like, his fans and the players, it feels like he's this guy that is there, that is annoying everyone almost. So I don't know. I don't know. But he's definitely better without Luka around. That's for sure. Which is weird.
Do you think Knicks fans planted those seeds? Poison the wells.
Yeah, that's what we do. We control the media.
But yeah, the Jazz managed to come through. We've spoken about them a little bit already. Donovan Mitchell had 33. I don't know how Gobert will feel about conceding 116 points, but hey.
Not happy about that now.
Brandon Knight played for the Dallas Mavericks. Brandon Knight.
Forgot about him. Brandon Knight.
Man.
Where was he before?
Out of the league.
What was he up to? Yeah, I know that, but
I have no idea. You can have a go. I think he had 18 like last night though. 18 and 5. Much better than he was on Christmas Day.
No, he played for the Cavs for 2 years, then was moved to the Pistons, and then went to the G League for the Sky Force, and now moved up to the Mavs. Nice, good for him.
Yeah, good for him. See if I can find this next topic. News.
He was averaging 20 points a game in 2015, 2016.
Yeah.
Damn.
That's not bad.
Yeah. He went like steadily increased his averages, like 13 and a half, 18, down to 13 and a half, 20, and then crashed 11, 0, 3 points a game, 8, 4. Oh, well. Anyway.
Yeah. I mean, he's just one of those players that was his main ability was scoring. And because he wasn't that efficient, he just sort of faded out of the league. Wasn't really a great playmaker, wasn't really a great defender.
A Brandon Jennings type of player.
Yeah. absolutely that.
Jennings.
God, that guy.
55.
Yeah,
55
forever.
Never forget it. Double nickel. So that brings us to our final topic of the day. The Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame. The inductees or the eligible candidates is highlighted by Manu Ginobili, Argentina's very own. Tom Chambers, Lindsay Whalen, and then there's a couple of people who have previously been on the ballot who could get in this year: Chauncey Billups and Swin Cash.
Yep.
I'm kind of surprised.
Becky Hammond.
She's on the list as well.
Yeah,
do it now. Marcus
Becky Hammond.
Camby, Muggsy Bogues. Should he get in just for?
Why? He wasn't an all-star. He didn't win a championship. He's just tiny.
He was small.
His career was very small.
His career was as small as his size, but he's got to go.
Zach Randolph, Al Jefferson, Josh Schmidt, Jason Terry. Nah, I don't see it.
Yeah, Marcus Camby.
Maybe.
Who else? Mark Jackson.
Tim Hardaway Sr.
Tim Hardaway, yeah. Mark Jackson.
You see, he's not in because of off the court stuff.
Yeah, you're right.
I don't know if they'll give him grace like they did with Chris Webber. Sean Marion.
The Matrix.
Surely George Karl gets in.
George Karl, definitely. That's a lock in as well. And then Joy Crawford, former referee, he's going in.
Yeah.
He was quite like outspoken, famous, kind of like likes the cameras kind of ref, wasn't he?
Yeah, it wasn't good for the game.
He only player to ever eject. Oh, is he?
Yeah, his son is a referee, and he said that he looked back on his career a little bit and was a bit like, there were times when I made the game about me and I shouldn't have.
He's the only player to ever eject Tim Duncan. The only ref to ever eject Tim Duncan.
And it was just for giggling on the bench. It's such a funny clip.
Fuck, Joe Crawford.
And then I think he ejected Rasheed Wallace for looking at him.
Yeah.
Was that him?
You remember that one?
Yeah. He told him to stop looking at him. And he kept looking at him, yeah. He told him, don't look at me. He carried on looking at him.
It feels like the refs in semi-professional, semi-pro with Will Ferrell.
Yeah, it's so good, man.
By my mother.
He's a priest as well.
A priest. yeah, that's funny.
If you have time tonight, go watch that movie. It's awesome.
Semi-pro. I'm just looking down the list. Those are the standouts, I think.
Stupid, silly question. Is George Karl still alive?
Yeah.
Yes.
He is. Okay. Well, I'm confused.
I remember him.
He did have health problems.
Yeah. I remember him coaching the Supersonics back in the day.
Yeah.
With Ray Allen in it.
He coached the GP finals team, the 96 team.
Oh, did he as well? Wow.
Yeah.
Did he?
He was there for a while then. Nice.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah, 92 to 98.
And Joe Johnson was going to be considered eligible, but he's not retired anymore.
Made a return. Yeah, that's crazy.
He fucked up.
So now it's going to be another 5 years, Joey.
3. They reduced it.
They reduced
the years of eligibility. Right. Yeah. So it's only 3 years now.
That's why.
That resets. Man. Some people are going to get in this year that that might not be.
Oh, I've got Horace Grant in my list. That I think he deserves it. I like Horace Grant in it. Yeah, help the Bulls win a couple championships. Help the Magic get to the finals. Yeah, but won a championship with the Lakers.
He did. He went to the finals with the Magic as well.
Yeah.
But I feel like letting that kind of player in would really open the floodgates.
It's just because this year there's not many more players to choose from.
Yeah, but then it sets a new precedent, doesn't it? because then everyone that was better than Horace Grant is going to be like, I should be in. Like, was Horace Grant better than Sean Marion?
Ooh, yes.
I think so.
so?
Yes, I think
Absolutely.
so. Yeah.
Mm.
Do you remember Grant was the shit before Jordan came around the Bulls? So.
No.
Or was he the other guy?
How-
Sorry,
how-
I was
how-
confused. Sorry, that's somebody else. Sorry, my bad.
I was going to say, how good of a player could he have been if they got Michael Jordan?
No.
No, sorry, it's the wrong guy.
That's cool. But Sean Marion was good in his prime.
Yeah. It's just
funny,
on his shooting form alone, he shouldn't be let in. Just because of the way.
It's because it's
Like,
horrible.
guys, this is what you should not do. And boom, it's qualified.
I think Horace Grant was better, but hey.
I just want to see how many like
El-
all NBA and all stars Sean Marion.
Elton Brand?
No.
No,
And
right?
he was a bigger player than both of them in terms of stardom.
I guess he was the main guy, right?
Yeah, but nah.
I think with that one, that would be the one that would open the floodgate. I think if you let him
But
in.
Horace Grant was a role player, man. Brand was at least the best player on the team.
For how long?
Was Horace Grant ever better than the third player on the team?
No.
I see your point. Yeah, I see your
Yeah,
point.
that's just Sean Marion. Where's his career accolades?
He was good. Don't get me wrong. He was all right. I'm actually watching today. I started watching today, and I'm halfway there. Argentina, US, 2004 Olympics, and Sean Marion sucks, man. Like, so
didn't that whole team suck though? Like everyone was trash.
well,
Who's playing well for USA? Besides Richard Jefferson, which is the weirdest thing in the world.
D Wade in the second half, and the first half Lamar Odom, and that's it. Duncan got into full trouble. Iverson scored like 2 baskets, and yeah, that's it. LeBron was too young.
Marbury
Played all right. Yeah, no, not good. Carlos Boozer was in that team.
Yeah, that was such a weird team, man.
And one.
He was a good player. Don't get me wrong, he was a good player. But I'll always remember when he colored in his head.
So
with
bad.
marker.
So bad. He looked horrible.
God, what an idiot.
So rare. Like, why would you do that on an international stage?
Hey,
Sean Marion, 4-time All-Star, 2-time All-NBA.
Okay. Champion? Did he win a championship?
With the
Mavericks, didn't he?
Yeah.
the Mavs, 11.
Okay. Well, yeah, I still don't see it though.
Horace
Like
Grant, 1-time All-Star.
Mhm.
Averaged 11, 8, and 2 for his career.
Yeah, but
Okay.
the glasses, man, the Googles. Like,
Yeah, the goggles were good.
Oh,
All right then.
Full time. No, wait.
Goggles
Which
get
one, are you,
inducted.
which one are you watching? He's 4-time NBA champion, 1-time All Star, 4 times NBA All Defensive Second Team.
Yeah.
Yeah, but 4-time NBA champion, right?
Yeah.
2 Bulls, 2 Lakers.
3 Bulls, 91, 93,
1 Lakers,
92,
yeah.
93.
1 Lakers.
So 1 Lakers, yeah. And
Fine.
01, that's who's 01?
Lakers. Yeah,
Lakers.
Lakers.
Really?
Yeah.
3-peat.
01, 02.
Oh, that was 01, 02, and what?
0-0.
No,
Oh,
First of the new
Oh,
millennium.
and 04 was the Pistons, wasn't it?
No, 03.
Yes,
Spurs,
04 was the
04
Pistons, but yes,
Pistons.
you
04
skipped
Pistons,
03.
right.
05 the Spurs.
It's a fuck about 03. 03 is
06 the Heat. 07 the Spurs again.
Oh yeah. You do the oldies. 09, 11, 13.
Lottery
We'll win
numbers.
one. We'll take a break.
You've been taking a break for a while, haven't you?
That's two.
Hey. That's not a break, Tom.
I'll take it as a
my
break.
days.
A break is a period of time between two set.
Yeah, this is more like a nap, like a proper nap, like
It's just
hibernation.
Yeah.
Cinderella bullshit.
Odin sleep. Oh
shit.
man. And with that, I guess we can put the pod in Odin's sleep for another week. So thanks for listening, guys. Remember to like, share, subscribe, rate, and review the podcast. I've been your host, David Sagoe. Tom's been here.
Yeah.
Yellow Headband Man.
Yeah.
And Jose Garcia Vidal.
That's it.
Goodbye, guys.
3
Goodbye.
to the head. And we're out of here.